Here at Southpaw Speedway with Deac McCaskill, one of the crowd favorites here, one of the big dogs in late model, but only one problem, you ain't got no car here. What's going on, man?
Yeah, we unfortunately we had that bad accident last year in the season, totaled the car, and just financially, we just couldn't get back on our feet, and just really had a stressful season last year, and just gonna take a year off, man, and see what it's like on this side of the fence. And we got an awesome opportunity with Rick Gilchrist and Daryl Gilchrist, helping these guys out and kind of coaching them along and helping Sammy Houston out on the car. And so far, I'm enjoying myself. So hopefully, have a good time this year. And if I miss it bad enough, we'll see if we can put something together for 2 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know you're a die-hard racer. How long did you have to come to grips with this? And you sit there thinking about it, just knowing that you just couldn't do it.
Yeah. Just you got to face the facts, face reality. The economy's kind of down. It's hard to get sponsorship. This was a family effort on my team. People would be amazed at the money we got by with saving just on running out of our own pocket. We had to really run good to pay for our expenses. And when you total a car like that, it's just hard to get back going. And I just didn't want to see my family have to go through that much stress again this season. And it just ain't worth it. So this opportunity come along, and I'm real thankful to have it. And at least I have something to do this year.
Yeah, I'm sure if somebody needed a driver though, you can just throw your name in the hat there, won't you?
Yeah. I'd probably be available to do something, but like I said, I'm gonna commit to the Gilchrist family this year, and we'll talk about something over the off season.
David Latour is running up in the top 10 there. Had a bad accident here on the front straight. What happened there?
Nick Smith got turned around by CE got turned around by Nick Smith, and the 69, I don't know who that idiot is, just ran in the back of me and pushed me straight into him. Wrecked my car. We're done here at South Boston. We'll go run motor mile.
Well, and you think this is for these double file restarts?
Majority of it, yeah. I'm fine with double file restarts, but putting a cone out there and making people choose and having people up there where they're not supposed to belong, it's ridiculous. I'm done here. Probably need a front clip, and this money's going to go away quick if they keep doing this.
Here with C. Fogg, he's massively disappointed. Had a good car, could have won this race here. And what happened going down the front? You were side by side with Nick Smith going down the back stretch. What happened down the front stretch?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just part of the cone deal. It's great for the fans. I like it. It got us back in a position to win the race and stuff. We're just trying to come off the corner, and Nick tried to come low, and I just tried to come high and just kind of hit wheels or whatever, and just spun us around and hit the inside wall a ton. Brand new car. I think she's pretty much used up. We'll have to go rebuild her, but we got 2 weeks, and I got plenty of determination to make it right.
So you think this was a result of the cone? Both of y'all were good racers.
No,
not like people in the back was coming up there.
The cone didn't wreck me. Cars wrecked me. So I don't really blame him. I just kind of go for the same piece of real estate. My car wasn't driving that great. If I had a little bit driving car, maybe a little better. But it's racing. Unfortunately, you win a lot of races, you're going to crash some too. So it's part of the game.
Here with Kyle Hall, South Boston. We just had a bad accident with C. Fogg. This one here had the top of his car cut off by another car. What happened there?
Just got into one a little hard, I guess. I got into, I think it was Burton in front of me. I got tapped from behind and ended up spinning Burton on accident. I didn't mean to. I got on the brakes and wall up, and I guess this car's behind me coming at full steam. And next thing I know, I see a drive shaft coming over top of my head. So I just hate it for these guys, man. It's the first race of the year, first time at the track, and this is what happens. It's horrible luck, man. Horrible luck.
Yeah, you've had a good car. You've been racing legend cars. You raced late model stuff before, now you're back into it. You got to feel good though before that happened, how good this car was.
Car was real good. I got to thank Hitchcock, man. He gave us a great car. I got to thank David Bush, my dad, Robbie. I got to thank David Staff for doing a great job spotting. It's I don't know, man. I think it was my poor judgment and just bad luck. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just feel horrible about it.
Philip Morris didn't qualify well, made some adjustments, had to start from the back, worked your way up to fourth here, just a little bit to go, and then it just all broke loose there. What happened on the back straightaway?
Not really sure. I was all the way in the bottom, and they started hollering 3 wide. Somebody stuck one in there where it didn't belong. I don't know. I know I was clearing the bottom as low as I could get. The car was running really good. We started dead last, like you said. We got one practice on this car and had a bunch of electrical issues today, so we had to elect to start in the rear, made a few adjustments, and I think we had a pretty good car. I don't think it got hurt too bad. It looks bad, but that's a shame. There's a lot of racing left. I was really looking forward to seeing what the car would do up front.
Yeah, and I've asked everybody that's been in, we had a lot of crashes today. Is this a result of this cone? Because I don't think it is. All the cars up there are good in the front now.
Yeah, I think the cars were good, and you know, the track just ain't taking no rubber today, and it just really wasn't a lot of forward grip, so that's why you saw guys go to the outside. I want to say get well soon to Jim Dean, who's watching on Race 22 at home. I just want to thank those guys for really just giving me this opportunity. Without Jim and Clarence's Steakhouse, I really couldn't be here.
Lee Pulliam had a good car here, was running up top 5, was just waiting towards the end, and what happened back here on the backstretch? This thing, like many others, just tore to pieces.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. I thought we had a winning car. I got bounced around like a pinball on the start there with Peyton and them, but you know, bounced back, come back from like 5th, got back up to 2nd, passed some really good race cars, and I was pretty happy with the car, and it was driving good. You know, Peyton, he was kind of pinching me a little bit, but I felt like if I ever got in front of him, I could walk away from him. And you know, Dick Smith again. He got my race car 3 wide when it should have been 2 wide.
He was the one that stuck it 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Oh yeah, and just want to move. I mean, he wrecked everybody out here tonight, and his day will come, I guess. If I don't get him, somebody else will.
We're here with Frank Denny. He's driving a modified at Bowman Gray here at South Boston. How good was the car before all that happened?
It was really good. You know, everybody at Kiker Motorsports and FDJ Motorsports did a good job. Billy Banks, great horsepower. Had a good car, you know, just biding our time, trying to get used to that cone rule, you know. Went on the outside a couple times, got loose up there, so fell back a little bit. But all in all, had a really, really good car. Feel like we could have won pretty much with no problem, especially as slow as what Peyton was at the end. So feel really good about the future here. But, you know, she's a little beat up, battered, still wound up in the top 10. So obviously there was a lot of people that had a worse day than me. So, you know, we'll just go rebuild it and come on back. That's what we do.
What was, I mean, you've been racing for a long time. You've seen stuff like this. What was the deal today with all this?
You had first race of the year. The track was extremely wet. There was water everywhere, so we would slide a lot. And doing the cone restarts, all 3 of those combined equaled what we saw today. You know, once we get used to it as drivers, I don't think it'll be that big a deal. The water really probably was the biggest factor today.
Yeah, and you talk about fast car, and the lap times were really, for the end of the race, you always slow down, but they seemed really slow there towards the end of the race.
Yeah, those guys were. I mean, I wasn't that bad, and I didn't have any brakes or none of the body, and I wasn't that far off. So that shows those guys were definitely off today.
So going to Caraway in the morning, right?
Yeah, I got one that doesn't have a scratch on it, so I'm going to see if I can dent that one up tomorrow, I guess.
Here with Jeb Burton, we talk about his car. It is beat to death. Have you ever been in a race like that before in your life? Finished 3rd.
It was about like, it was worse than Martinsville, to tell you the truth. It's just, people out there don't use their heads, man.
I think Martinsville actually drove over your car at Martinsville.
Yeah, like all this didn't come from me. It's just people don't know what a brake is and they don't use their noggin very well. But
you think it's just everybody sat around all winter and everybody's just anxious, or what?
I have no idea. I wasn't doing it, but some people just, I guess, don't need to be in a race car.
How good was the car before it got tore all pieces?
It was okay, and we had a good practice the last 3 weeks, and we've been getting better and better as a team, and this doesn't really show it because everybody's wrecked, but we had a good car today, so we're going to come back in 2 weeks and get them in.
Here with Nick Smith here, finished 2nd here today at South Boston. Man, I don't know if you made fans or enemies today, but you got up on the wheel on this thing right here. Started 22nd, come up through the field, had a sway bar joint break here. You had to get up on the wheel a lot. They tell you about that drive.
Yeah, I tell you, I sure would like to be in victory lane right now, but I can't be too upset about what happened with me today. And the car drove so well all day long. If we could have qualified up front, we'd have been in victory lane. This car was that good, but just being able to come through all the wrecks and slipping and sliding and racing everybody hard, trying to get every position I could when I could, it kind of hurt me there at the end to try to fight with Peyton. But you know, we put on a heck of a show, man, and to be able to run with him for the last 30 laps like we did as hard as we could, we were putting on a show for at least for me behind the wheel. You know, I had a blast.
Yeah, and you were putting on a show for everybody here. It seemed like the last 10 laps, so like Peyton just hit another gear. Did you use it up trying to get up to him?
Yeah, he was starting to slip and slide too, but he had a little bit more tire left than me. You know, like I say, it's tough to come from the back and try to win. And we had some easy breaks, and that double foul restart, the cone deal, it really helped us out with getting from the back to the front. And I probably could have done it nowhere near as easy without that. But you know, all in all, I drove the car as hard as I could the whole race, man. And when I got to him, I won't take no mercy on him either. He just had a little bit more than me left because he was the one setting the pace, you know.
Yeah, and I got to ask, we had a bunch of accidents and stuff here today. I didn't see the stuff down the back straight. Well, what happened back there?
Man, I tell you, we got taken 3 wide, and I just held my line, and we all just kind of got sandwiched together there. You know, it's just a bad deal. I mean, it was racing, but at the same time, I can't bow down to people. You know, I'm out here just to hold my ground, just like they are. You know, but you know, I'm probably going to hear a little bit about that, but you know, hey, it's racing, man. I'm gonna stand my ground.
Peyton Sellers at South Boston survived a marathon here, and fist get run over by your own car here. But like you had a fast car all day, man. You seen the carnage all behind you, and you seen her little caution lights come out. So up front was the place to be, but Nick was coming for you there at the end.
Absolutely. You know, Nick put a lot of pressure on us, and that's what it's all about. But the last 5 or 6 laps, my dad said, "Look, I'll tell you if he's going to look low, you just drive your car and do the best you can with it." And we did that, and we pulled away 2 or 3 car lengths there the last 5 laps, and being patient, keeping the tires under for 120 laps leading up to that paid off at the end of the race. You know, Lee and those guys got behind me, but I told my dad early on, he was spotting for me. I said, if they put a little pressure on us, we'll let them go, but if they don't, we'll just drive and keep it under us, and it paid off. So I'm just very thankful for this opportunity, and
yes,
the good Lord took care of us today, no doubt about it.
Tell me about that opening lap there. That's a Peyton Sellers move I ain't never seen right there. Went 3 wide, stuck it down in there, took the lead. Well, I guess everybody's got wintertime jitters and ready to go. You needed to get up front.
Yeah, I tell you, racing's something I love to do, and I love to make it exciting for the fans. And you know, my car stuck really good, and I said, well, I got a good run. I'm looking under Lee, and he's slipping a little bit, and I just took full advantage of it. So it was just a great opportunity for us.
Yeah, and then you talking about right there at the end, Nick was handing you all you could, then about 6 to go, you just took off and left.
Thank you.
How hard was you running there until you got about 6 to go and it just went?
I tell you, when he was on my bumper, I was running 110%, and when I dropped back and started running 95%, I started pulling away. So that's you know how it is, just trying to keep the tires under it and make the most of it.